So Tim, have you played the Conan game yet before?
Nope, I never have.
Well, it's a little bit of a different system, but it shouldn't be that hard. I take it you've played some other games before.
Yeah, mostly D&D. I've played a little bit of Savage Worlds and a little bit of Starfinder, but mostly D&D.
All right. Well, I got this game set up for. I played with Frank before, so Frank knows the rules. But if you got any questions at all, man, feel free to ask. You're here to try it out, so.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have questions from time to time. So.
Will a message, so hopefully he'll be showing up here shortly. But just give me a minute, and I'll be right back online. So I just Will just went offline. He had trouble the other day too. So if he doesn't show up in 5 minutes, then we'll get started, and there'll be a small amount of people.
What about the others? I thought 5 players were registered.
Yeah, a few people said they were going to show up, but I got nothing. I got you guys.
Yeah. When I say I show up, I will show up.
That's all good, man. That happens sometimes.
You posted a thing about zone maps using Conan Exiles. I don't play Conan Exiles. What do you think of this game?
I really like it.
Because the images look very, very good, and if you can clip out such images for the Conan RPG, that would be a fine thing.
You know, that's I think it worked out really well. Like I was just sitting down and I had this idea of like I was just exploring the cheat menu, and I looked at what I was looking at. I'm like, hey, this looks like one of the maps from the Kickstarter, and then it struck me. So I was like, hey, you can use these maps. You can make maps using some of this stuff. So I thought it was a good idea.
Hi, Will.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Oh, not too bad, Will, man. Welcome aboard.
Good, how are you?
Sorry I'm running just a little bit behind.
It's no problem, man. So, Tim, you're familiar with, obviously, Fantasy Grounds, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right, that's cool. Yeah, Will, so when you're ready, you can log on whenever you want.
Yep, 2 minutes.
No problem. So, Frank, I'm thinking of getting the actual D6 dice rolling mechanic added to this one too, right?
You mean the special dice?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
So I was talking to Damien. He's the guy who writes Morecore, so he's going to help me out, I think. So who knows? Maybe by the next time I come home, I'll have the dice built into it.
Yeah, that would be really good, because it's always confusing to having to ignore the 3 and the 4.
Yeah. So, Tim, have you had a chance to look at what character you're going to take?
Yeah, I think I'm going to play the pirate.
Oh, Alias. All right. All right. Well, I'll give you a quick rundown on how the character page works here.
Okay.
First of all, if you open up and go to the More Core tab, you will see a bunch of columns. Skills is the one that you'll be using the most. So if you click on any of the dice there, you'll roll your skills, and I got the skills already determined of what it's going to be. So in the list of skills, most of them have 2 numbers, and the first number is the number that you need to roll equal to or less than to get a success. And if there's a second number, that is your focus number. And if you happen to roll that number or less, you actually get 2 successes.
Which you actually just did. The 1 is below your focus of 1, so you got 2 successes.
Okay, I see. Yep.
All right. So in this game, there's a lot of options where people can purchase or use extra D20s. So if you did want to roll extra D20s, using the modifier box below the chat window, you can put in, say, a 3, and then click on any of the dice, and you'll roll a total of 5 dice. And it adds up your successes that way.
Okay.
So that's usually that's the meat and potatoes of it right there. When it comes to the dice rolls, damage rolls, everyone on their character sheet got the Steely Glare ability. That's their, looking at someone hard, giving them hard looks.
Mm-hmm.
So for that one, all you gotta do is click on the dice to roll it, and it's going to roll a bunch of d6. And as we were just talking earlier, in this game, 3s and 4s are nothing. They're blank. They don't do anything for you. But you're looking for 1s and 2s, 5s and 6s. And what you do, everything adds up. The best way to say it is, if you roll a 1, you get 1 point of damage. If you roll a 2, you get 2 points of damage. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you also do 1 point of damage, and it counts as an effect. So if you happen to roll, say, 4 5s, for example, well, that would be 4 points of damage and effects.
You just rolled a 6, so that is an effect, and that would actually trigger your stun effect, your stun quality. If you see, there's a Steely Glare listed with 2 dice stun plus 2d6, and the 6 triggers the stun. So if you now had intimidated someone, he is now stunned.
Okay.
So all we do here is, like, I'll be giving you guys the equipment as you find it or if you use it. So, but that's the basics right there, and that's as simple as that. Under your talents, if you click on your talents button, if you click on any of the shields, it comes up with all the information about that particular talent. So if you wanted to know what Hunter does for you, you can open it up and you can read away.
So how would I go about doing, like, just a basic attack if I wanted to fight somebody?
Well, the way it works, it's usually based on, like, a struggle as of such. So you're rolling against the other person. But all you would need to do is you would roll your your melee skill, and you're trying to get at least one success. You always want to get at least one success. So there, you did not get a success.
Okay.
So it would be nothing. But if you did get a success, then the other guy may have an option to parry. And if he does, the person who rolls the most successes gets the win.
Okay.
So, right? But here's the thing. Here's what makes this is the special thing about the 2d20 system. If you're trying to get one success and you happen to roll 3, well then you have you get 2 extra points over the 1, so then you get 2 momentum. So every success over what you require gives you these power points, I guess you can say, to use to make yourself, more effective or whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag onto the chat window here some shortcuts for you, just so you can know what you can do.
Yeah, there are different momentum point costs for different effects. For example, if you want to make a disarm, that would cost 2 momentum for a single-handed weapon.
But we won't worry too much about all of that right now, because like I said, this is just a beginning game, so it'll be a nice, easy pace. But the thing is, I'm going to also put up a icon here, or sorry, an image called the Doom Pile. And the Doom Pile is points that I get, and there's also points that you get, and you guys can build up your momentum, and you can save it for other people, and you make yourself more effective. So we'll get with that in time. It sounds like a lot right now, but it's pretty simple once you get into it.
A question about the shaman. What spell does the shaman have?
Oh, if you click on the little swirly symbol now, Frank, up in the attack section.
On the shaman sheet. It's already taken. I was just curious. I looked at those before.
He has the Glutton's Curse.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm sorry, Frank. Did you want to play the shaman?
No. I was
just figured I didn't want to be another mercenary.
No. I just was curious about where on the character sheet the spells are listed, because I don't think I had played a spellcaster in this game yet.
Yeah, and I haven't either. So you said it's a little swirly there.
Do it. It's not a problem. I was just curious because I think the character sheets got a little bit updated. Are they?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I got a whole new template now.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Nice.
You can also make them larger now. So if you spread them larger, you can actually see everything in the fields a lot better. So it's not all crammed up. So you can adjust the size now to what you need. Well, I think, Will, I think I just cleared you from the shaman.
You did. So that's now I see. Well, now I see the other characters. So let me take a look. Frank, if you want to play Arnath, you're more than welcome to.
Oh no. I'm giving every one of you the choice of characters. I take what's left, and let's see what is actually left. But did you release the
I did.
shaman?
I cleared him by accident, so he.
Well, that's okay. Why don't you go ahead and take a look at him, and I'm going to take a look at Vidomir, the Nomad, real quick.
I just take a look at those this character. So where would I find the spell?
So up on the attack section of the character sheet,
yeah,
you'll see a little swirly square.
Oh yeah.
Just click on that, and it switches back and forth.
That's cool. Very good. Okay.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, actually.
And the description is behind. Oh yeah, the whole description. Very good. Cool.
So Tim, in that picture that I shared with you called the Doom Pit, the Doom Pit will get bigger and smaller as the game goes. So as I use abilities, the Doom Pit gets smaller, and you guys may want to do different things, and to do that you give me Doom back. So that fluctuates. And on the bottom you have your momentum section, and the maximum. This is like a pooled momentum, so anyone can use this momentum as the game continues.
Okay, and you just slide the token over wherever it currently is.
That's right. Yep.
Do we have a hero type character amongst those?
Nope.
Okay.
So who's going to play what? Have you guys decided?
I'm sticking with a pirate.
All right, cool.
I think I'll try the cute blonde.
Oh, Octavia. I got you.
Yeah, then. She's a close combat character, yes?
She's a what?
Close combat melee character?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, then I take the ranged combat character here, the Huntress. Actually, it's a man's name, but nevertheless.
All right, so it appears...
Actually, a famous king, an Irish king. Ian Botham, Irish king.
Nice.
I did not know.
Do we need to get equipment for them?
No.
Oh yeah, inventory.
No
Oh,
very cool. Okay, I like the way this is starting already. All right.
Yeah, you might not like what's going to happen, because I will get everything started now. I'm just adding up the fortune, so it looks like 6, 7, 8 total. So
what do you mean by order in the combat section of the character sheet?
That's how I control you guys in the combat tracker.
Ah, okay.
So now I can actually assign a number to someone as they do something, and it adjusts. Before I couldn't do it to NPCs, but now I can do it to everybody. So now I can.
What's the change?
What's that?
What was that referring to?
In the top right-hand section, you got your place where you see your vigor and your trauma and all that.
Yes.
Well, the bottom, the one just below that called order. That's your position on the combat tracker.
Ah, okay, very nice. Okay.
So I control that one now, and but I can move you guys up and down, and I can just manipulate it from the character tracker now, so it makes life a little easier. Okay, so I guess we'll get started.
Nice pink dice for the young lady. The tree of woe.
You guys, first thing that you guys can all feel is the taste of sand and dirt on your lips. Everything is sore. Your lips have been cracking, filled with sand. And you just feel downright miserable. You can feel the heat from the sun just blasting in on top of you. And you guys are sore and you feel constraint. And you can't move your arms or your legs. And as you open your eyes, it takes a second for your eyes to adjust to the blaring and the sun is just so bright and so intense, and you guys are just miserable. The first thing that you guys see from across the way, looking directly at you,
Ooh.
Oh, man.
And although you guys don't have the spikes or the pikes impaled into you, you do realize that you are all bound to individual crosses, much like the Tree of Woe. And in the distance, you can see like the vultures are swirling around, and there's bones in and around the ground all among you, and it's just absolutely horrifying what you guys are experiencing right now. So you've all been here for probably a couple of days now, and this is a very difficult experience. It's trying. So I'm going to have each of you roll a resistance, and it's going to be a difficulty of 2. If you fail, the people who fail will take 2 dice worth of damage of fatigue. So you have to roll a resistance, and you have to get at least 2 successes. So Alias, he's trying to struggle out of it, or he's in the heat. He's not taking it so well. So I'm going to roll the dice and roll against your for your fatigue, and you take 2 points of damage. You get a 5 and a 6. So
is that fatigue or is that vigor damage?
That's fatigue. So what that does, that lowers your maximum vigor number.
Correct. And is there a place on the tracker to track that, or just write it in the attack section?
It's up in the combat section, and the way everything in the bracket is your maximum number. So just to the side of that is where I'm going to put your temporary numbers, and I'll adjust it over in the column as well. So, for example, for Alias...
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. So we have a vigor of 13, but 13 can be reduced by the fatigue.
Right.
But how do we differentiate that then from vigor damage?
Well, the number over on the side will always match. If it's higher than your maximum, it will go down to match your maximum. So essentially, if you take any fatigue right now, it's going to lower your actual vigor number in the column. If that makes sense.
Correct. Well, the only thing is isn't fatigue and vigor the recovery handled differently?
Oh yeah, totally.
Because you can recover vigor in combat, but you can't recover fatigue in combat.
That's right. So what we'll do, we'll roll for you and see what happens, and then I'll show you how I track it.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Let's see, resistance.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to roll the damage for you. And you take 2 points. So on yours, on your character sheet now, I'm going to, outside the bracket, I'm going to change that to an 11. And I'm going to lower your...
Gotcha.
You see what I got done?
I do. Yes, thank you.
All right. And what about you, Nbatha?
Okay. Yeah, I'm of a more vengeful nature. So take a doom, because I need to be able to resist this one. To whoever did this to me, I will kill them.
Okay, so if you want to, I'm kind of making a few stricter rules now, especially for you guys, where I played with you before. Is on your character sheet, I want you to use the doom section. So double click on where the doom is, the 999 underneath the text.
Yeah.
So that lets me know that you're actually spending.
Double click.
Double click, yep.
Okay.
So I'll take a doom. So you're going to roll 3 dice.
Yeah. Okay. So resistance. Okay, let's roll it. All right.
So you failed as well. So you're going to take. Oh, sorry. I rolled a 6 to 1, so 2 points of damage as well.
Okay.
So that lowers your vigor
to 8, I think.
Actually, Frank, you're close to what you're doing. But
okay.
Leave the max number the way it is, and just outside of that, put your temporary there. And
okay.
Then lower it down over that way. Okay, so now you guys are you're in the heat. You've been struggling with this. You're starting to get thirsty. Everything, you seem to be bound to these particular trees. Off in the distance, you can hear howling or maybe laughing. Seems very sinister. But you can hear it off in the distance, and it's kind of drifting in through with the wind and the sand that is blowing against you, making you guys all very uncomfortable. So who would like to go next?
I'd actually like to free myself somehow. Well, am I bound by some ropes or what?
Although the images show nails in your hands, you guys are actually bound by leather straps around your wrists and around your feet. Now you might be able to break it, but it's a difficulty 3 to break out of this.
And somehow wriggling out of at least a hand out of one strap, not by force, but maybe I have very, very delicate wrists.
It will require an athletics roll.
Okay. Yeah, athletics is actually force. Yeah, I'm not that good at this one.
Now, if you want to try to use your acrobatics or your dexterity as of such,
yeah,
it's tied relatively well, and it's not very much give, so it's actually a little bit harder. So that's going to be a D4.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll try to use acrobatics for this one, because actually I'm not the strongest one. So I will do the following. I spent 1 fortune on this one.
Okay. So you spend the fortune.
And 1 doom for another die. And roll 3 dice. Hold on. Let's see if I can make it. And that's actually a D4. Yes.
All right. So Tim, what you have these fortune points that you can click on, and fortune allows you to do special things. It's almost like you're like a guaranteed success in most cases. So I'm going to share with you what you can do with your fortune points. I'll drag that to the chat window there for you.
If you spend a fortune point, it actually counts as one die. But it counts as one die you automatically set onto a 1. That is, in most cases, a double success, at least, if you have a focus point in this. So it's quite powerful.
All right. So, and Botha has been able to wiggle her and kind of strike herself outside of it there. And yeah, so you managed to get yourself free. What's everyone else going to do?
Okay. How do I use the fortune? Like, what do I do on my sheet?
All you got to do is double click up on the top where it says fortune, where the number is, and it'll automatically count down.
Okay. So I will try that as well. Try to get my hands free in the same manner. So you said that was athletics?
Well, it depends if you're using your agility or your brawn. If you're trying to be kind of squirmy, it's a D4. If you're using your strength, it's not as strong, not as difficult. So it's a D3.
I'll try to just break out of it with strength.
All right. So you automatically get 1 dice that rolled a 1. So that's 1 success already. So you just need to roll. Did you want
Actually,
to?
2 successes.
Not if he doesn't have a focus in it.
Do you have athletics focus?
Is that athletics?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
Oh,
9-1. So I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 successes
so
right
2
there.
2 successes.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So you can still roll your 2 dice and hope you get a 9 or less, or you can spend Doom to roll extra dice. It's entirely up to you.
Well, I feel like I pretty much have to get out of this thing, so maybe I should spend Doom.
Yeah, do it.
All right. So double click the number on your character sheet where it says Doom, and it'll automatically count down.
Where is that located?
Right above where your skills are, you'll see a column there that says Doom and Momentum. There you go.
Okay, got it.
So the Doom goes up. Oh, you got no successes. So you're struggling, and you still can't get.
Well, I get one more die.
He gets one more die. He only rolled 2
does.
die.
That's right. Yes. So what you do now? You can just roll a dice single if you want. No,
still didn't get it. Jeez. Well, maybe I can convince someone else to let me out if they get out.
You know, I will take a look around, of course, and if I see someone still alive, and if I like this person.
All right, Octavia. Well, you see in both of there kind of looking around, and you see Alias still struggling to get off this tree here. What are you going to try and do?
I'm going to try through my cracked lips to whistle at Imbotha and say, hey, don't leave a girl hanging. And again, try to, in this case, I think I'm going to try to wriggle my way out of it, not with brute force, but trying to slide my hands through the bindings.
All right. So it's a D4.
If I may, I could help you a little bit. Or you showed us some skeletons with some throwing spears inside of them. I might actually take one and simply cut the ropes.
That's fine by me. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah. So why don't I take some of those weapons from one of those skeletons and simply cut your ropes?
Wait, that could work.
Well,
I mean, is there something there with a blade that would cut?
Well,
yeah,
you got your arrows that are sticking out of there, and the spear, although at some point did have a blade, it's pretty rusty and pretty decrepit right now. But it should be enough to cut through any type of your bindings.
Yeah, and on the image I saw at least one spear, so that could work. And it doesn't need to be very sharp. If it's sufficient to get through the rope, I'm just as happy. So let me cut you down. No, not physically. Only figuratively.
All right. So Mbotha now actually manages to clear the two of you guys away from your bindings. Now, did you want to try to escape first, Octavia, or did you?
Yeah, I mean, while I'm waiting while I'm watching her kind of rummage through the various different weapons, I'll continue to try to struggle against this and see if I can get at least one or two hands free.
All right, so it will be a D4 acrobatics test for you. Ooh, dude.
And a complication.
Finally, he rolled a 20.
Nope, I get to. I have agile, so I get to re-roll that.
Okay.
No, just 2 successes.
All right. So you struggle a little bit more to try to get out, and there's no luck. You're pretty fortunate that Mbotha was able to get out of her bindings, but with her help, both of you guys should be able to get down off these crosses.
You know, I'm a little bit trained in crafting, so I will probably know how to uncraft this kind of nasty thing as a crucified person. So I will cut both of them from their crosses.
Oh, easy enough. Yep, you're able to remove them and get them down quite easy.
And actually, then I'd like to pick up some other weapons lying around. The spear is a good thing, but maybe there are other weapons. I'm looking around.
You don't see anything else of use. You do only see the spear. You got a couple of arrows that were stuck out of the corpses and stuff, but there was nothing really there of any much use.
Waste not, want not. I collect the arrows.
All right. Well, you have. You find enough for a load, so 1 volley.
Okay, so now I need a bow. Let's see if someone has a bow. If we meet someone with a bow, I take it. Oh, I can simply drag it onto my character sheet, yes?
Yes, yep.
Where under the damage rolls, or where? Item inventory.
Yeah, it goes in your items, yeah.
Very good.
So Octavia's just going to kind of look around the surroundings and try to remember what happened last night.
Well, as you look around, you don't really quite see anything. Your last memory, it seems kind of foggy. You remember.
That's right. You said we've been here a few days. So
you've been there a few days, but there's a sign. You notice that there seems to be a sign on hanging over your neck with some words written on it, and then you actually notice that there's a sign on each of the other 2 people that are there. And
can I read the sign? What language is it written in?
You see, it's a. is not Namidian, but it's easy enough for you to understand what it is. It's probably like some Stygian. Not, I shouldn't say Stygian, but it doesn't look. It's not English. Put it that way.
One of those southern tongues.
One of those southern tongues, but you do have. You do pick out a few keywords out of it, and it says punishment, exiled, and death are the three words that you're able to pick out of it.
Lovely. What the hell did I do? Sounds like another character I know.
And the same type of words seem to stick out on the signs of the other two characters as well that are walking around and hanging around you.
I'm gonna look around for any maybe sources of water. I mean, pretty thirsty after all this.
Okay.
And I guess to that end, are we in a desert like in the pictures, or are we in a forest?
You are in a desert, much like the pictures. I'm going to bring up an image now.
Oh, okay.
You see a few, stones sticking up and some weird old symbols, and off in the background you can see possibly some ruins or a structure or mountains. You're not exactly sure. But
oh yeah, I just barely see him off in the distance there. That's cool.
But I would like for Alias, to roll a D2 survival roll. Or, an observation roll,
There we go.
Oh,
Nice. Our first momentum of the night.
Yeah.
So that's exactly right. So you needed to get 2 successes, and you got 3. So you have 1 extra momentum. Now, if you want, you can put the momentum in the pool, or you can tell me that you want to spend it, say, for something a little bit beneficial, and I may give you a little bit of a bonus or a little bit more information or something along those lines. It's entirely up to you.
I think I'll put it in the pool for now.
So what did you see?
Well, as he's roaming around, maybe it's the sailor that's in him, that ability to find water. But you actually find a small flask of water, and on that, next to that flask, you see a note, and it seems to be left on a kind of on a rock, and the flask is actually weighing down the note. The water.
Okay.
The wine skin.
I'll pick it up and take a drink from it and offer it to my other 2 companions and look at the note, see if I can read it.
You can, because the note is actually in Aquilonian.
All right.
And the note says that I have no reason left to live anymore. I have been banished to this world for no reason, as far as I know. I have struggled and I have toiled in this desert land, and I feel that I am losing my mind. I write this note, and I leave my last flask of water, so for whoever finds it, may at least have a chance to live, because I desire to live no more. And that's what the note says.
Well, actually, good for him. Thanks for the sip. I drink a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll read the note out loud so that everybody can hear it.
Yeah, very considerate of this guy to die here.
So you actually find the small flask of water, and It has enough for several uses. I'm going to add that to your character sheet. You got 6 more uses left in it. You had
So
8, there was 8 total, but now there's 6.
Okay.
let's get out of here. Some people might have actually put us there, so there might be some tracks left, or something else where we find shelter and maybe some more water and some food and maybe some weapons or so. I'd like to look for tracks.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You would like to look for tracks, huh?
Yeah.
Well, as you're looking around in the sand and the sand is blowing, you hear the strange laughter again, this cackling noise, and now it seems to be considerably louder. But I would like for you to make a survival roll.
All
and
right,
it's going to be a D1 survival roll.
All right, but we still have one momentum left.
That's right. Yep.
I'd like to take this one.
Okay.
Let's
So
see.
You're going to take it. All right.
Yeah, and roll survival. All right, that's a success with 2 momentum. Let's see what I can find. I might spend some of those momentum for more information. But what's the base information I get?
So you were looking for tracks, and it seems that there is some tracks leading off. It seems to be passing through this particular area, but the direction of the tracks seem to be leading towards that off into the distance where those ruins or structures are. You're not, or the hills are. You're not exactly sure, but it's heading off in that direction.
How far away are those hills? A day's march or less, or even more?
Oh, it's less than that. It's just out of sight and hard to see, but it looks like should be within like maybe an hour or so.
Okay. Is there any information spent so that I can use momentum on it?
No, there's not really anything other than that.
Okay, then I put the 2 points into the group pool.
Okay, so I got those in there now.
Okay, guys, there are some tracks leading towards those hills or whatever it is. And did you hear this kind of laughter? Does it sound like humans or does it sound like something else?
It sounds maniacal and crazy loud. It sounds evil. And it kind of bestial.
I think I do have some animal handling skill. Do I know what kind of creature could make this noise?
Oh, it could be any type of wild creatures that are out in the deserts. Easy enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would suggest we leave as fast as possible here.
Yeah, I agree. Let's follow those tracks and see if we can find out who did this to us.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? I'm not that good in close combat. Any of you better than me with a spear?
How would I tell?
You take a look at your melee skill and at your brawn, because it's unbalanced. That means if you have a strength of a brawn of 9, you can wield it one-handed, and if you have a brawn of 8 or less, you need both hands for this.
So I have a brawn of 8 and melee of 11 with a focus of 1.
Octavia, how are you?
Octavia just grabs the spear and says, let me wield that.
Apparently your brawn is better than ours.
And she does one of those, kind of twirls it around like a drum major and wraps it around her body a few times to get the balance, get a feel for the balance. She's clearly handled spears before.
But nevertheless, I at least pick up some rocks or something because I don't want to go totally weaponless.
All right. So you guys are going to. I would like you've been looking around for a bit now, and you're kind of getting at your bindings and stuff, and you got to try to possibly get some shelter. And this laughing is getting louder in the distance. Because the sun is so hot and the wind is starting to pick up and the sand is starting to scorch against, flay the skin from your body. That's what it feels like, although it's not that bad. I'm going to make everyone make a D2 resistance roll. Yeah.
We still have some points of momentum left, I think.
Yep.
2. Yeah, I'd like to take one of those for the resistance roll.
Okay.
I'm not that brawny actually.
No problem. So make your resistance roll with your extra dice.
Okay, resistance D2. Okay.
And this is for fatigue.
Nice.
Well, all right. That's two momentum for the pool, of course.
Okay.
Well, I'll use one of the momentum to use mine. That'll leave another for.
Okay. I got you paid off. No problem.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. So that's a total of
extra
3.
momentum.
So that's
Yeah,
another
momentum. So that's 3 in the pool.
Okay, I'll use one as well. And can I just right-click on my dice to add the third one so that it counts the successes? Or
you can if you roll the dice manually, but if you click on if you're going to use the roller on your character sheet, you got to use the one. You got to use the modifier box.
use the modifier. So I just put 1 in the modifier box and it'll add it.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
you realize that you needed 2 successes, you never got it. But here's the thing: you have the water, and the water allows you to re-roll 1d20.
Okay. Well, I will do it. And
you got it.
That is right on. Yeah. Okay.
So no one takes any more fatigue, and you're kind of getting yourself in. You're starting to understand now some shade and different areas and stuff, but you're starting to feel a little bit better about yourself and your situation.
You look like someone who's used to a more wet surroundings. Are you?
Yeah. This is a bit dry for me, but I'll make do.
You guys hear that laugh again, and it seems to be getting considerably closer.
Does it sound like it's ahead of us or behind us? Or
more, it seems like it's starting to come from around you now.
In different directions.
Yes.
That looks like some pack animals chasing us. Is there any kind of shelter we can find to actually reduce at least the access point?
How do you mean, Frank?
Some caves, some ruins where we can not stand in the open, so that they have to come from one side or so.
Well, I will show you where you guys are currently standing, because are you going to look for a spot? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to take a few seconds to kind of get to some shelter or somewhere? Or
Look for a good defensible position. Yeah. because out in the open is never a good thing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get you to do a survival roll, a D2 survival roll.
Okay, how much momentum do we currently have?
You got
2
two in the
points.
pool.
Okay, I take one of those and make my survival roll. D2 was it, yes?
Yes, a
Okay.
D2, yep.
D2 survival. Let's see. It's only one success, and I don't have any talent to reroll that. Damn it, I don't find anything.
All right. So, and Batha is kind of looking around and trying to, look for a different a spot, a more safer, secure spot. Octavia, what are you doing right now?
I'm probably taking point and trying to scan like the entire area in front of us. Just to see if there's any indication of movement or likely ambush spots, that kind of thing.
Okay. And what about Alias? What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I forgot my push to talk. I'm going to try to see if I can just kind of crouch down and see if I can scout out, like see what's making this noise. Like I just want to kind of freeze and look closely.
All right. I'm gonna let you make a D0 observation roll. Now, a D0 means you automatically succeed if you just want to succeed, or you can roll the dice. And if you roll the dice and pass, you get momentum. But the problem is, if you roll 20s, 20s are always bad in this game, unlike Dungeons and Dragons, which is always good. This is bad. So so you have a choice now. I'm gonna let you make a D0 observation check, and it's up to you to roll the dice or not roll the dice. It's entirely up to you.
I'm gonna roll the dice.
All right. So any success gives you guys momentum.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. So you got 2 successes, so that puts you up to 3 momentum in the pool.
Do you have a talent to reroll something like sharp senses or so?
I actually do have sharp senses, so I can reroll
you could
that.
reroll the 18 too.
Yeah, so you can just reroll the 18. So there you go.
And
You got
I got it again, yeah.
So that's 3 successes total. So that puts you up to 4 in the momentum chart. And this, as you're scanning around, and because you've passed, I'm going to work it out this way. Coming through the sand and the way the wind is blowing, you can start make out some shapes. But you guys, Alias sees this coming through the sand.
Looks friendly. Oh God.
Now here's the benefit. Because you passed and you saw them coming, where's here it is here. If Frank wouldn't survive or made his survival roll, you guys be able to pick whichever sections you wanted to. But he did not, so you guys are all starting in that particular zone that's painted within the green lines. But Alias, because you've passed, you get to pick what zones that you see these hyenas breaking through the storm or the sand. It's entirely, you just tell me where you want to put them.
I will put them.
You see 5 in total. Or sorry, 6 in total.
I'll put them there.
You're going to put them all in the same zone?
Where were we moving? Which direction were we moving? To the right? To the left?
Well, it's a battle map, so you're not going to be able to run from the dogs.
No, but the darker shapes are higher. I think higher elevation. Yes.
The darker shape on the bottom right hand corner is stony ground, and you can get on it, but there's some difficulty to move in it. The one to the left is a pillar, so it's just like an impassable piece of material. That's not going to do anything. It's just a design piece. A zone by itself.
Yeah, I'll put 2 of them in that one, and then I'll put the other one in the one just to the left and north of that.
Okay, yep. Oh, hold on. Let me get this right. So you're putting the first one, the first couple of here. Put a couple up there. Where would you like the other 2?
Let's see.
D for dingoes.
Now, just so you understand, in the 2D20 system, the zones are a little bit abstract. So just because I only got the grid there just to make them auto-align starting off, but you can move anywhere within a zone for free. So you don't have to worry about counting how many moves you can make, but you can move from one zone to the next, or you can move up to 2 zones. But you can move anywhere in a zone in one turn, unless it's not too sandy or slippery or whatever. There may be some benefits or hazards or whatever that you have to go through. So it doesn't matter where they're 2 in the zone. It's just they're in that particular zone.
I'll put the other 2 down there in that bottom one.
Okay. So on this map, do you guys see the pins?
Yes.
Okay. So if you hover over top of them, it should tell you some basic movement abilities or different descriptors, kind of help you find move around a bit. So if you click on it, it should come up with a small description.
What crossing thing with a difficulty given, a zone with a difficulty given, cause a standard action or still a minor action?
It's all based on if it's within the zone or if it's not within the zone. Like if you're moving to another zone, that's like your standard or your minor action.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to roll the dice, it counts as a
standard
action, I guess.
Yeah, but there are actually minor actions where you roll dice. For example, some movement actions.
No, you're right. If you want to move, you just got to roll the dice to succeed. Now, not every zone here has a requirement to move into. So.
Yeah. All right.
So the way it works now is people get to choose to go first. And because I have so much Doom, I'm going to choose to go first. Because you guys went and filled me right up with Doom as you guys were trying to break out of the...
Yeah, that's always the problem with Doom. You actually raise your chances for now, but you get screwed up later.
Pay now or pay later. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm going to make... So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pay 1 to move one of the smaller hyenas. 1. So he is going to, this particular one is going to make a, I gotta make a roll here. It's going to move to there. The animals are immune to the effects of the sand because they're four-legged. Difficult for you guys though. So he's actually going to sprint, and he's going to sprint to there. Okay. So
I love this map, by the way.
This is done by using the screenshots from the Conan Exiles game.
Yeah, no, I love it, and I like the zones you've created with the different abilities or the different characteristics.
All right. So who would like to go next?
Let me go next. I will move into the adjacent zone here, over here.
Okay.
And take some of those probably very dry bushes and so on. And I'd like to start a fire, at least a small one, but at least I'd like to start a fire.
It's going to take you a couple of turns to light one.
Okay, would momentum reduce the time I need?
Seeing you have no fire starting material, you got to gather and scrub sticks together, is going to take you a couple of turns. I would say
I have sticks.
I would say it's going to probably take you at least 10 turns.
10 turns.
10 turns.
All right. Then I won't gather bushes. I simply gather some rocks of a decent size that I can throw.
All right, so you got yourself a handful of rocks, dude.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. Who is next? Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
And I will. I'm going to. Well, I guess I'll just move up and see if I can chase this one away. He's by himself there.
Okay, so it's a minor action to move into contact with him. Because it's a loose sand, you got to make an acrobatics roll of D1 or more.
And we have lots of momentum if you need.
I got it.
Probably don't need it.
So you actually gain the momentum. Okay.
Okay, so I move in there, and then once I get in the same area as him, I'm going to. I just want to kind of charge at him and yell and scream and maybe throw sand. Like basically just make a lot of noise and a lot of movement to try to scare it away.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. What we're going to do, I'm going to get you to make a. It's going to be like a display. It's going to be a display attack, a threat attack. Based on the way that you described it, I'm going to get you to roll your persuade skill. And because this is a minion, a low level, they don't get a chance to retaliate or defend. So if you're successful, it's a D1 or more. And if you're successful, then you're going to get to do damage.
Okay. We got a lot of momentum, so I think I'll use one to add a die.
All right.
Yeah, do it. Get rid of this creature.
So it goes down to 4. Okay. So you want to make a persuade. So you were successful. You didn't get any momentum. But I'm going to get you to roll your Steely Glare attack. And you can just double click on it down there.
Oh, that's a good one.
So you have 1, 2, 4 points of damage, and a stun effect.
All right.
Stun effect is the thing that could be bought off by generating or spending Doom.
Am I going to spend? Yeah, and it's the cost of the number of effects rolled, right?
Yeah.
So I am going to spend the Doom to ignore the stun effect.
But it's still got resolve damage.
Oh yes, that's right. And it's like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. So its resolve brings it down to 0, and it's enough to cause it to you scared it off. You actually kind of shocked it into thinking that who the heck is this thing? This is not an easy meal. And this thing actually turns around and flees from you. You scared the shit out of it.
You storming forward looked even scarier from the other side.
So I'm going to So that's Hyena 1. Hyena 1 has actually been defeated. All right, good roll. Who would like to go next?
I think only Octavia.
Yeah, that leaves me, and so I'm going to mumble something under my breath about crazy men and come up next to him to provide him with some support.
Okay.
And is there a version of preparing an action so that if something comes within range, I can attack it?
There is a wait, I think.
Ready. You can ready an action, yeah.
I think ready is actually to ready a weapon, like drawing a weapon or a vial. But I think there's a different term for it.
Yeah,
that allows you to basically
action is a standard action to. You see, it's called ready.
Yeah, is the ready action.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ready an action so that if anything comes within range of myself or this crazy guy next to me, I'm going to jab it with a spear.
All right, so I'm going to add in the. Go to here. 4.
Oh, and I think I need to make a D1 roll.
Yes, you need to make a D1. Yeah.
We still have some momentum, I think, if you need it.
This is acrobatics, correct?
Acrobatics.
Yeah, acrobatics.
I should be. Yeah, so we added another momentum.
We have even more momentum.
All right.
That's another one. So we are at 5 momentum in the group now.
Move that up to 5. Okay. So let's see what's going to happen here. Hyena number 2 is going to go. And Hyena 2 and 4 are going to team up into a group, into a mob. So I'm going to delete number 4. And it's going to move. It is going to take a standard action to do a sprint. So it's going to move 2 zones. But it's going to move up to here, but not within range or of reach of Mbatha.
Now, if I understand that, but just so I understand, it could, if it used its free action, do the adjust to get within reach, correct?
It could.
No, you could
Well, you can move right in there.
declare.
You don't need to use the free action. You can just move straight into reach if you wish.
Yeah, but then you couldn't attack because your sprint was your standard
action. Yep,
yeah.
understood.
So these other 3 hyena up here, these hyena number 3 and hyena number 5 are going to combine with the toughened hyena, and they're going to make it a squad, I guess.
Ooh.
So I'm going to put in. This makes them a little tougher.
Yeah, seeing Adios scaring away one of those. Yeah, who's laughing now?
So with this, the toughened hyena is now going to react, and it is going to do its. Let's see what it's going to do.
Circle us and go for Ibotha, and Alias and I can run away.
Well, should it go after the one who separated himself from the pack? I don't know. So this one here is actually going to move into range. And actually, no, it's gonna stay here. It's gonna do its hackling laugh, and this is going to affect. It is a threat attack, and it has the area effect. So let me see what happens.
Is it a close range or medium range?
It's close range, so it's D2 for me.
Correct. Yep.
So because I have 2 extra individuals, I can roll up to 3 dice.
I thought doesn't the toughen get 2 dice of his own?
2 dice.
Or is that only dice?
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you
get your 2 for the toughened one, and for each minion you get an additional.
Yeah, so you get a total of 4 dice.
Yeah, and I'm looking for. It's not that much, but it's 6s and 2s. So 4 dice.
And I suppose the attacked will make a defense roll, because you need to declare that you make a defense.
Say that again, Frank?
You try a threatened attack, so whoever gets attacked needs to make the primary target needs to declare to make a defense, or else you don't make a defense.
So they got to tell me if they're going to make a defense roll or not.
Yes, and have to pay you doom for that.
Oh,
beforehand. But only the primary target actually.
Right, you can unless it's a. Well, yeah, any attack has to be at a particular person, right?
Yeah. You aim for one of the guys and probably get a doom for a defense. And in an area effect, the other ones who are affected.
The effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have. A person doesn't have a declared defense until after the attack roll, correct?
No, you do it before the roll.
Before you make your attack roll, yeah, because actually that's the thing. You need to determine if someone is actually defending.
Oh, okay. So this attack is going to be going after Octavia. So Octavia, will you be trying to defend yourself?
I definitely will try to steel myself against that heinous laugh.
All right. So spend the doom for me, just so I can keep everything on track. That moves it up to there. And I'm going to spend the doom just to make sure I might as well roll all the dice. And I'm looking for 6s and 2s.
I see 1.
I see. Yep. So, will you go ahead and try to defend from that?
It's a discipline roll, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a quick question. Should I have started off with 0 resolve?
No. Your resolve works down.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give myself 9 then, because that's my max, and it looks
Okay.
like I started with 0.
Yeah.
I'm going to use 2 of the momentum in the pool to get 2 additional dice.
Okay.
Dang. Well, I got 2 successes.
So you beat it
But
by
also
1.
got a complication. So we get a momentum back, but there's a complication.
Okay. What am I going to do to you? Although the effect of the laugh didn't seem to scare you as much, it did kind of catch you off guard by the ferocity behind it, and you actually brace your body naturally tenses up, and you brace yourself, and when you do, your foot actually slips in between these rocks on below there, and you actually get your foot jammed into these rocks, and you become slightly pinned.
Okay.
For you to move out of it, you have to make instead of it being a D1, it's going to be a D2.
To get myself free. Okay.
Yeah. To move the next time you need to move.
Yep. I like that.
So because what happened there, Tim, is because he rolled a 20, I have options to get doom, or I can make bad things happen. So I'm choosing to make a bad thing happen to him.
Okay, got it.
I was afraid you were going to make me tense so tightly that I snapped the spear into.
Yeah, it's fragile. Yeah.
I thought about it. Okay. So that is it for the round.
Momentum goes down by one.
1.
At the end of each combat round.
That's correct.
Our group momentum
okay.
gets stepped down by
Yep.
1.
I'm going to put the doom pit on the table there. That way it's easy for people to see it. So with this, I am going to spend a doom to go first.
Okay.
And the hyenas 2 and 4 are going to move in and engage in Batha.
Okay, I will defend against those. So you get 1 doom for that.
So I get 1 doom. It will attack, so it needs to roll 10s and 1s. And I get 2 dice. So I get 2 successes.
So hit with 1 momentum. How much momentum do we currently have? We have still 3. Yeah, for this parry, I take one momentum to get a 3rd die. I'm not that good at close combat at all, you know. But let's see what I can get. Oh, wow.
no!
That's
Yeesh.
genius. Okay, double critical failure, not failure, but double complication and no success. So I get hit, and then I get hit some more.
Okay then. Well, first of all, I'm not going to take any extra doom. I'm going to inflict on you the fact you lost guard for one complication. You lost your
Okay.
guard. And the second one is the first attack will have on. Well, no. Lost guard. And you are staggered. Stunned.
All right, but I still get the damage, of course.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, don't worry. That's coming. That's coming
How
your way.
how could I mark the stunned condition on the character sheet?
Oh, no, I'll do it here on the combat tracker because.
Okay.
So you're stunned.
No, not the parrot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, easy.
As I said, I'm not a close combat
Stunned
type.
and lost guard.
Mm-hmm.
So now it will roll. So I hit with
One momentum, yeah.
one momentum. Let's see here. What am I going to do? So I'll roll the damage.
A lot of damage.
Actually, it's only 3.
It's only 3 points of damage, but
Yeah,
it
but
has.
grapple one.
You do have grapple, and it's piercing 1. So it's 3 points of damage. You have no armor on,
No.
so you take.
But I'm currently not only staggered, but I'm still grappled 1, 2. So yeah.
Well, now remember, you do have 2 points of cover from the brush you're in.
You're
dice.
right.
2
You're
dice.
right. That's 2 dice of cover. Oh yeah. Wait for it. Let me roll those. I nearly forgot. Yeah, that reduces it by 1. That still leaves me at a meager 6 points of vigor.
Okay.
Grappled 1 because that's depending on the difficulty. Yeah. Okay.
So I got a hold of her.
That was quite a complication.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here is the fun thing. Now this is great. Now, what are hyenas famous for?
Laughing.
That. And what else?
Their bite is like really. They've got like so many pounds per square inch on their bite.
Exactly. They have a wicked bite force. So I've just transferred it over. I'm going to make a doom spend of 3.
Oh man.
And if you open it up, after a target has been grappled, instead of biting again or to use as a swift action, spend 3 doom to inflict 4 dice damage and grapple, and you still keep your grapple even if there was no grapple was rolled.
Doesn't have to be the next turn though.
No, it's
it's instead of a swift action.
Oh, instead of a swift action. Gotcha. My bad.
Swift action would normally cost 2, but with this one it costs 3, but has an additional effect. You don't need to roll any hit. That's harsh, but it's a momentum, a doom spend. That's all right.
I'm sorry, Frank.
Yeah,
So,
do your damage.
I'm gonna roll the damage. So it looks like it's only 2 more points of damage, and the grapple is no difference. But you do have your cover. Actually, the cover doesn't affect in this one, actually, because it's the bite. You're already gripped down.
Yeah, but I'm now down to 4 vigor. Okay.
All right, so who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I'm gonna tell Aelius fall back on the dark-haired, because I don't know her name yet. And I'm going to try to use my standard action to move into that zone, but then you make a D2 acrobatics roll first to get free.
That's correct.
How much momentum is left?
Group momentum is
2.
currently, yeah. 2.
I'll just take one of those then.
Okay.
Barely made it. No momentum back, but I'm free. And I'm going to use my standard action to move into that same zone in reach of the hyenas that have a death grip on the dark-haired girl.
Okay.
And I think that's it for me.
Unless you want to spend the fortune, and you can go again.
Oh, or you could. How much momentum do we have in the pool?
One left. One momentum left, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Yeah, I forgot about my fortune point. I think maybe because of the dire situation, I'll go ahead and spend that to try to get these two off of the dark hair.
Yeah, short explanation. For one fortune point, you can get another standard action. You can get at most 2 standard actions per round, but a fortune point is, of course, a rare thing to have, but it gives you a second action. That's a good thing to have.
Okay.
So I will still just a D1, but they get the benefit of the cover as well.
Yeah, but they don't parry.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that momentum in there.
Okay.
Bugger, I hit, but I got a complication. Now the spear snaps.
Yeah, you know, this zone is probably cursed.
Actually, no. I'm going to say that you've lost your guard as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So
It doesn't get to defend.
Damage.
But you hit. Well.
So you're free of the rocks.
How do I add the spear to my damage rolls?
Oh, I'll get that for you.
And I guess you can get rid of that ready action because that turn's already passed.
Yes, that's right. So it's 4 dice.
Is that including my bonus?
As added, I'm adding it to your bonus.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
Can you?
I can reroll. I can reroll 2 of those.
Ah, very good.
How very nice. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus. Oh, that's it. Yeah, 7.
Piercing 3, and actually, your spear is a little bit cracked. It goes down by 3 dice of damage.
Yep.
Yeah, so because it's fragile, these attacks become less effective. For each effect rolled, the number of dice damage is reduced by that amount.
Yeah, it's now a lengthy toothpick you have left.
So 7 points of vigor damage with piercing 3.
So it has an armor of 1 for its thick and its thick, muscly hide. So 6 damage still gets through because you rolled 7, right?
7, but I have piercing 3.
Oh,
so
sorry, yeah. So
it all goes. All 7
goes through. Yeah. So you have enough to kill one of them and to damage the second one. So you can describe this if you would like.
Well, you know, kind of rushing over there, just seeing that the two hyenas are focused on the Brune, you know, the dark hair coming in from the flank, and just jabbing one right through the ribs to get the pressure off her.
All right. And as you were running up to do this, you kind of stumble at the last minute, and that's how you managed to lose your guard. You're still struck, but you're all kind of out of kilter. Okay. So I'm not going to do anything else first, so I guess it's going to be Alias now.
Okay.
Or Anbatha. One of you guys get to choose.
Yeah, let Elias act.
All right.
I think there's one momentum left in the pool.
There is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to move in as well. So I think that's a D1 roll for... What kind of roll is it that I need to make?
It's a acrobatics. And it's a D1, you're right.
Nice.
Add a momentum.
Momentum, yep. Okay, so that goes... It doesn't go into the pool right away. That goes into your own control. So I'm just going to put a 1 in your character sheet there now, so I keep track of it. Okay, anyway, so do what you want to do.
Okay, I want to move into a range as well with the dogs.
No problem. So you can do the same thing that you did, that Octavia did.
Move there, and then so now I've spent my standard action.
Yep.
And
But you have
move.
2 momentum, so you can use those 2 momentum to do a swift action.
Yeah.
Or you can spend a fortune point to do a swift action and you don't have any negatives.
What would qualify as a swift action?
A swift action is, it allows you to do a standard action, a second standard action per round, but it's usually at a higher difficulty. But if you do use a fortune point, you get to do it, and you don't have any raise in difficulty.
Okay.
If you're feeling confident, use the 2 momentum and make a swift action, and maybe generate some doom for this attack.
I think I will go ahead and burn the fortune.
Okay, so you can double click on your fortune.
And just to let you know, you also have the option of using what's called an improvised weapon, which could be something as simple as just kicking the thing, or...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just trying to kick it or punch it or something, you know, like that, because I don't have a weapon on me.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry, and I forgot to tell you that we forgot to roll the 2 cover dice for my last attack.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I said that the animals don't benefit from this.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So if I want to just kick it as hard as I can, what do I need to roll? Is that a animal handling? No.
Oh, no, it's still your still your melee attack.
It's
Animal mishandling.
All right. I'll roll the melee, and I will. So I have that personal momentum. Can I just use that, burn that to add a die to my?
You can, yeah.
Here?
So just double click on that one. There you go. Thank you. So now you can add to your melee attack roll. So you can put a 1 into your modifier. This thing cannot defend.
1 success.
So you hit it. A improvised weapon is 2d6 with the stun quality. So if you just roll 2d6.
Do you have any damage modifier?
I do not. It's +0 damage to melee. Ugh.
So it's a 3 and a 4, so or 2 3, so there's no damage.
Do you have any melee? Do you have no mercy as a talent?
No,
What's that?
I do not.
Moral, yep. Yep.
Have hunter. Does that help?
Hunter is more if you're chasing some animal over a distance.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just out of luck.
Yep.
There, so I
problem.
basically just kick
I
it,
will.
but I don't do any damage, right?
Sorry about that, guys. I just had to step away. Yeah, so you rolled. I'm sorry. So you rolled the damage. There was not enough to do any damage. So what did you decide to do? You got a momentum there. You can spend the momentum if you want to re-roll.
All damage dice.
All damage, yes.
So both of them, yeah.
Well, I'll do that
it.
then.
Do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. So you can just roll your 2d6 again.
Much
There
better.
we go.
So that's actually 4 points of damage.
On top of anything I carried over, so.
So because of that, there is already 2 points of damage on it. So you actually kick this thing off of Mbatha, and you stomp it into the ground. You describe it. You describe this as your kill.
Well, I'm gonna run in and kind of get up close to it, and almost kind of do like a flying kick at it, and I just it turns to look at me the last second, and I catch it right in the head, and I just kind of pin its skull between my foot and one of those rocks, and it just cracks a little bit, and the thing rolls over dead.
Flashy pirate move.
Well done. All right. Who would like to go next? I guess Mbatha gets to go next.
Yeah, I need to do a clear action to get rid of the staggered condition first.
Okay.
This is only a minor action, and I have, as far as I see, I have the effect is one effect only for the staggered condition, but clear does always make it a D2 resistance roll. Oh yeah, D2. Okay, let's see what I can get from this one. Our group momentum is empty. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Take one doom. I double click it.
Okay.
So I have 3 dice.
Yep.
For my clear action to get rid of the staggered condition. Let's see how this turns out. Oh no, that's all right. I have a success against difficulty 2, so I'm no longer staggered. That's all right because now I have my standard action back, and I can use it to act as a second minor action to regain guard, which would be a parry roll.
That's right.
And I think it's a D1 parry roll. Regain guard is yeah, it's a oh no, it's a D0 parry roll. All right, so let's do it. Do it as a D0. I probably don't need to roll it.
That's correct.
So and as I'm currently not under attack, I actually won't roll it.
Okay,
I simply stand up. Yeah, I stand up and actually. Wow, that was a close one. Thank you very much. So that was my turn.
Okay, so yeah, you're just taking the D0 action, correct?
Yeah, to regain guard and simply now I'm back to whatever comes next.
All right, so. shoot. All right. So the big, mean-looking hyena, he hears its brethren, its puppy mate, its friend. It is going to. It's going to do a full action to sprint into this zone here. And actually, no. It's going to go to there. And it is going to yell, and it's got Octavia on the brain for some reason. Maybe it's the blonde hair. I don't know. But it is going to do another howl. So, would you like to defend?
I will defend myself, yes.
Okay, so I'll take the Doom.
Do you want me to send it to you?
No, I got it there now. Thanks. So I'm looking for 6s and 2s. So I get 4 dice. And I'm going to spend one to roll all 5 dice.
Oh.
So 6s and 2s. So I got
two successes.
2 successes.
And is there momentum left in the pool?
There is none.
Yeah, the group pool is again empty. Yeah.
Well, I need to try to at least get 2 successes here. Knowing you, I need to. Oh, 0 success.
So I got a success with a momentum, or is it 2 momentum?
No, hit with 1 momentum.
Okay. Well, let me roll my damage. Actually, it's no momentum, sorry, because it's range close, and I'm in medium.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you just succeeded.
I just succeeded, yeah. So it's 3 dice of stun and area.
No effects, but they have 3 points.
3 points of resolve. So I'm going after. So Tim, what I'm doing, this thing is trying to shake him or shake the individual or rattle everyone, but it's not doing a very good job of it at the moment.
Yeah, good that you didn't roll any effect.
All right, so it now into the next round. The Doom pile goes down by 1. Or sorry, momentum goes down by 1. Is already at 0. So
yes, but please, the Doom pile might go down too.
Well, I'm going to spend 1 to go first anyway.
Damn it.
And this thing is going to run in, and it is going to charge Octavia.
Now I have no guard.
You have no guard.
And I've got to reach 3 weapon. They'll probably reach 1 weapon, so they get +2 dice.
That's correct.
Yes, you're right. Oh my.
Now the question is, does this go against your cap?
Okay, so the way it works is because it's a squad, the toughen gets 2 dice.
Yep.
And it gets 2 more dice because of the reach differential.
Yeah.
So that's 4. And then it still gets the assistance from the 2. So you get 6 dice.
Yes. And actually, if you want, you could spend up to 3 Doom to get 9 dice on this attack. You know, you can only buy 3 additional dice for Doom or Momentum, but other effects that give you additional dice, they add on top of that.
Well, I think the toughened is always limited to 5. And it's
Yeah,
just-
in a squad. A squad is limited to 5, but you can add on top of this 5. You can do you can add by this in this case by breaking guard, or in other cases like exploit action and so on. You can exceed the 5 dice.
No, I don't think I'm because I remember reading something about this on the discussion boards. I think that whoever the squad leader is, they can go up to their 5 dice, however they do it, just like we normally do. It could be through the difference in the reach, or it could be adding dice.
Not really. The top of for a squad is 9 dice without any external effects like exploit action.
Well, I'm not going to spend any Doom anyway, so I'm going to leave it the way that it is.
So that's an interesting question. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
We'll mark that one down. We'll pin that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to roll 66, and I'm looking for...
And I am going to parry.
Okay, then. And does your spear have the parry ability?
Of course not.
Oh, and another Doom. Oh god.
All right. So here goes. So 10s and... Where is it? Yeah, 10s and 1s. Here goes.
Ouch.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Generate Doom. Do it.
Yeah, I'm almost going to have to here.
Yeah.
So you're taking 3 Doom. All right.
I am. Wow, with all that, only 2 successes.
Did you roll Persuade instead of Parry?
I apparently did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Could it be that your Parry score is better than your Persuade score?
He hopes.
Certainly hope so.
You may re-roll. That's a good catch there, Frank. Okay, so the thing hits with 2 momentum, and I'm going to roll the damage. And we're... So I only get 1 bite, or 1 damage, but it is an effect. I am going to spend a Doom to re-roll the other 2.
Yeah.
So 4 points of vigor and grappled.
Yeah.
And grappled, but you do get your cover dice.
Thank you for reminding me.
So it's 3 points.
Another one? You get 2 cover dice.
You get 2, yeah. So,
Much
two,
better.
so 2 points of damage gets through. And I'm going to use my Doom spend to spend 3 to roll 4 more dice for its Wicked Jaws.
Wicked Jaws.
So that's an additional 4 points of damage, and yeah, piercing 1.
No armor.
No armor. So
Okay, got it.
so who's next?
Well, I think I'll lead off and try to stab it since I've got the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're grappled. The only thing you can do while you're grappled,
Oh, that's right.
is let me try to pelt it with some rocks. Maybe it does something to help you. Let me try it first. So I'm not within reach of this hyena,
That's correct.
and I'm throwing rocks at it.
Right.
This is an improvised weapon with the typical improvised stats. So 2d6 damage with stun. Range is close, but we are in the same zone, so it's close.
Yep.
Do we have any momentum left? Supposedly not. And your doom tracker is at yeah. You know what? take one.
Give it, yeah, give it to him.
Yeah, take 1 doom. So 3 dice, and I'm throwing rocks at this hyena, and hopefully doesn't like it. Well, success with 2 momentum.
Yep. This thing, by the way, was not going to defend.
All right. So I hope I have entered it correctly. Could you take a look at my character sheet? I entered thrown rock, but I don't know if I did it correctly.
No, you got it.
Okay, then I simply roll it and have 2 momentum, and that's the damage for thrown rock. 1, 2, 3 points of damage. The 6s do count as stun, but don't cause any damage because it's improvised. I will actually spend 1, 2, 3 points of damage. Yeah, you know what? 3 points of damage and stun 2. That's the first hit. And I spent the 2 momentum for a swift attack and simply throw some more rocks.
Okay, so you're doing a swift action, correct?
Yeah. That,
all right, so
hold on. D2, right?
It's a D2 now, and yeah, I generate one doom on top of that because I like to have my 3 dice. And I now need 2 successes for the second hit, but it's still stunned 2, so that's a good thing. So throwing more rocks, and well, you see, it's another hit.
Yep.
So here comes the landslide. 2 points of damage and stun 4.
Okay, so the first roll, how much damage did you do in total?
First roll was 1, 2, 3 points of damage, stun 2.
What? Oh, the 4 dice don't count?
The 4 doesn't count, and as an improvised weapon, an effect doesn't give any damage.
Yeah, for improvised.
That's right. You're correct.
All right, so the first one does a total of, as you said, 3 damage.
Yeah.
It has an armor of 1, so that actually does 2 to its vigor. And because this is a group, it goes into the other ones first.
Yeah.
So, and your next one did how much damage? 1, 2.
2 points of damage and stun 4. 4 effect stun.
So you actually kill one of its pack.
All right. And it is stunned. Quite heavily.
Yes.
That only keeps for 1 round, but better than nothing.
All right, so who would like to go next?
Go ahead, Ailes.
All right, I'll go next. That looks like a pretty good tactic, so I think I'm going to try the same thing. I'm just going to throw a rock at it. I have pretty good range.
And for the record, I'm stupid. I have the accurate talent, and I could have rerolled some damage dice. Okay.
See, you're panicking. See, a bunch of dogs, and you're getting all panicky. See.
Oh god, I so rarely play some ranged combat guy.
So if I want to throw a rock at it, I just need to make a ranged weapon roll.
That's
Is that
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And
do
this
that.
thing is not defending because right now it's clamping down on Octavia.
All right.
Oh, hit with 1 momentum.
Yep. Okay, so I want to do the rock thing. How do I do the damage part of it?
Do you have any ranged damage bonus?
I have a +1 damage to range.
Very good. That's in total 3 dice with a stun qualifier.
So I'm gonna give you that ability now to roll. You say you have +1 the range, right?
Yeah, +1 damage to range.
Okay.
All right, so just roll that.
Yep. Nice.
Okay, nice.
And you have 1 momentum. You could add it to the damage or reroll the 1 die. Or do you have accurate as the talent?
I do not have accurate, no. But I'm gonna hang on to that momentum.
Put it
It
into
seems
the
like
pool.
it's. Yeah, put it in the pool because we're low on it, I think.
Yeah,
Well-
Octavia might use it. Yeah.
With this, now I will say this: if you do spend that momentum, you will kill another one of the dogs.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll do it, yeah.
All right.
Do I need to roll anything? Or
Nope. You can describe it now in your own words now.
Okay, so take the rock and hurl it at the dogs, and catches one of them just behind the ear, and you hear it kind of go "yoop," and it just kind of drops.
Knocks it clean off. All right. So the minions in the squad are gone. So it's now just a single hyena.
Now, I've never been grappled before. What are my options?
Athletics or acrobatics to get out of the grapple. This is a standard action, which is the only standard action you actually can make to get out of this. And it depends. Do you want to force yourself out of it or wriggle yourself out of it?
No, I'm going to try to wriggle myself out of it.
And you have only, luckily, only 1 effect in the grapple. I think you
That's
grappled
correct,
1, yes.
Yep. It's only
Yeah.
grapple.
So it's a D1 only.
There's no momentum.
Use Doom.
I'm just going to use one. I'm just going to use 1 Doom.
Yeah, it comes and it goes.
Okay. So I take the
It'll come back to us. So success with 1 momentum.
Very good.
And that's not enough to do another action, so I will use my minor action then to regain guard.
Wait.
You might want to hold off on that.
Oh no, it's easy. Because this hyena is now staggered, it cannot use a reaction. That means you can do it without any fear of retaliate. Do it right away.
But there's only 1 momentum.
Yeah, but it's a D0 roll, you know?
So it's a free
So
action.
it's a free action.
What's a free? I'm the swift action.
Regain guard is a D0.
Oh yeah. No, exactly. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my parry.
Not persuade this time.
There we go. So 2 more. Now I can do my swift actions.
Actually, yes.
So we've got 3 momentum. I'm going to use 2 of them to do a swift action. And you know what? I'm going to drop the spear and try to grapple it.
Interesting.
Ooh. Okay.
She's a barbarian after all, so.
Yeah, that's a melee attack. And you use the last momentum for additional die, yes?
Yep, I'll use that for an additional die.
This thing will try and defend itself. Oh, but
It
can't. It's
cannot.
staggered.
Yes, it cannot. Yes. Oh,
Nice.
oh. That's hit with 2 momentum because of the swift action.
Yes, and so does the grapple doesn't do any damage on its own, does it?
No, you have now the grapple quality on your unarmed attack. What's your unarmed damage? 2 dice plus your
2 dice
unarmed
plus
damage?
2 for my melee.
So it's 4 dice with the grapple effect quality.
Yep. Now you got your guard back and you got your grapple is gone. Now you have the ability to use your grappler roll. You have a talent called grapple, so you can make your attack first and then decide to spend the momentum to gain the grapple quality. So you don't have to spend it beforehand.
Oh yeah, you can keep the stun quality. Do it. Keep the stun quality and add the grapple if you like.
Okay, so I'm doing a melee attack, not a grapple attack.
No, it's
the same
it
thing.
is a melee attack.
Gotcha.
And you actually succeeded, but you, as a trained grappler, you can always decide if you simply want to stun someone or if you, in addition, want to gain hold.
Oh, okay. So I didn't have to stay. Okay, so I was just doing basically I was doing just a regular improvised attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hand-to-hand attack, and then I only need to spend 1 momentum to gain the grappling quality.
Correct.
Yeah, on top of the stun quality. So usually you can exchange that if you want, but now you have stun and grapple.
So now I'm rolling my damage dice.
Yeah, that's right.
4, I believe, is what we said.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I also have another talent called Murder in the Eyes, which adds another 2 points of damage to my damage roll, or two dice to my damage roll.
On which?
Oh, but he has guard.
Only if someone doesn't have guard. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I don't have enough momentum to break his guard, do I?
No. Yeah. Well.
Wait, now if he's staggered, does he still have guard?
Yes. You don't
lose
lose guard.
You have to be aware you
staggered.
need to be standing and you need to be able to defend yourself, right?
Yeah. But still, staggered doesn't break guard because that would be listed under the conditions.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
And how much momentum is there?
You generated 2 momentum.
And that's enough to break guard, right?
If you want, you could actually spend it to break guard, but that wouldn't make your attack with the grappling quality.
Oh, because I've only got 2. I thought we had 3 momentum left.
You had 3 in total.
Yep, spent 1 for the. Oh, so there's only 1 left.
There's only 1 left.
Yeah.
Oh no! I spent 2 for the swift action.
Yes.
Right, and I left 1, and then I just got 2 more on my melee attack. Right.
Yeah. You did roll 3 dice for your attack.
That's right.
You spent
You're right.
2 for the swift action, and you spent 1 for an additional die.
Okay, so there's 2, and I spent 1 for the grapple. So now I have grapple.
Yeah.
So I can't. I don't have enough then to break his guard. So that's fine.
Yeah.
So there's 4 points, 4 dice of damage.
I will allow you to break his guard if you spend a fortune.
No, I think we're gonna need that. I'm hanging on to that.
I figured I'd just let you know.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
You got him? You got him good.
6 points of damage and
5.
an effect.
Because it's where it's the effects don't get damaged where it's a
Yeah,
Correct.
improvise.
You're right. I'm sorry. Correct. You're right.
But you got him grappled and stunned again. So
And cause a wound.
so.
Oh no. He's got toughness.
He's got an armor of 1.
you still have 1 momentum left. You could spend it for
Yes,
planetary
I
effect.
will to make that wound.
Yeah. Do it.
All right, so give it a wound of 1.
Basically, I grabbed him in a bear hug, and now we're kind of lifting him up on 2 rear hind legs and grappling him like you would a Saint Bernard or something.
Yes, squeeze out the hyena juice.
The hyena juice. That sounds kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't want to see it, actually.
Okay, so here we go. Next round. I'm going to reset everybody. Hold on, L2. And I'm going to spend the Doom to go first. I'm going to spend another Doom to where I'm staggered. So I got no choice.
You could spend a minor action to try make the clear action if you want.
No, I'm not going to do that. And I am going to do a howl as it's being beat up here by a bunch of humans that I thought was going to be a quick snack. This thing is going to howl and do its Jekyll-ing laugh, and it's going to go right back at Octavia. It is a range close, so it's just a D0. Or sorry, it's no range effect. Are you going to try to defend this?
You're still grappled, aren't you?
What's that?
You're still grappled, and if that target is unable to move or take action, you can only try to get out of the grapple.
That is correct. I am still grappled. I never marked that in there.
Yeah, see how you like it.
I will. Let me mark this down my little book, Frank, for comments like that.
Okay. You had me grappled on the head by a crocodile. You know.
That was a couple of games ago. You gotta let that stuff go, man. We're living in the past. Okay, so this thing is going to try and get out.
And this is a struggle, so I roll my athletics on this?
No, it's not a struggle, actually. You created one effect.
Oh, yeah, so right. It just needs to do its own acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, but it has a wound, so it needs D2 to get out of it.
Yeah.
Good point. I forgot about it.
I'm going to go with my acrobatics. So it's 10s and 1s. And I'm not going to spend any Doom.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah, and you got 1 momentum, actually.
No.
No.
No. Yes, you barely made it, yes. Damn it, I forgot your intro.
Now, I can spend Doom to do a swift action, can I not?
Yes, of course. Now you're free. Free to act.
It's 2 to spend a swift action. And it's a Doom because I already spent my Doom to do the stagger, to break the stagger thing, because I'm still staggered at the moment.
Yeah, if you still have Doom, you can spend it. Of course. Spend more Doom.
And I am going to now, you know something? No, this thing is going to bite. This thing is going to bite back at Octavia. And I'm going to spend 3 Doom to roll as many dice as possible. So it's 5 D20. I'm wounded, so I need the D2 and more.
And she will probably defend, I think.
Yes. Can I defend that, I assume?
Yep. So you're gonna spend to defend and roll the dice. 10s and 1s, so I got 1 success.
Oh, you needed 2.
And I needed 2. So it
And you
doesn't
can
do
still
anything.
roll your defense because you might generate momentum.
You may roll 20. Just think about it. You may
Yeah,
roll
that
20.
could be.
Yeah,
Successful for momentum.
So you'll take the momentum, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
All right. So who would like to go next and finish this thing off?
Octavia's going to return the favor and try to bite its neck.
Yeah, did Octavia actually act? No, I don't think so. If you want, do it.
Now, it's not grappled anymore, correct?
Correct.
You know what? I could throw some rocks and then maybe you could squeeze it some more. We have 1 momentum in the pool, I think.
Yes, we do. And since it's not grappled, yeah, go ahead and throw rock before I get
Okay.
in close with it.
All right.
So I take this momentum for 3 dice for ranged attack. Does it want to dodge?
Yes, it does.
Okay. That costs 2.
Okay, I got
So
that done.
rocks are coming. Well, it's the hit
Nice.
with 3 momentum.
What a load of shite.
Yeah. So now comes the damage.
Oh, he's gonna get to defend. Hold on, he might get lucky here.
Oh yeah. All right.
gonna
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm gonna spend a dice to roll. How many successes you got?
3 success with 3 momentum.
Okay,
Damn it,
now
damn
I'm
it,
gonna
damn it.
roll 4 dice. I spent 2 doom, and I'm gonna roll 4 dice.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I'm gonna give myself doom. No, I can't do that. I lose doom. I'm gonna say no more doom in the pile.
All right, and it got hit. Should I roll the damage dice again, or do they count?
No, the damage is good. Feel free to.
Okay, now I do have the accurate talent and the marksman talent, of course.
Okay.
That means I can reroll 2 dice, 2 damage dice. I simply roll 2d6, yes?
Okay, yep. That's
Okay,
right.
I reroll 2 of those 6s. Yeah, it's another 5. So, okay, I got 1, 2, 3 points of damage, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 stun. Yeah. Wait. And I do have 3 momentum left. 3 points of damage. Putting 2 momentum to make it 5 points of damage. Last momentum to make it piercing 2. So 5 points, piercing 2, stun 4.
All right, so that is enough. Oh, hold on now. Oh, what am I thinking here? No, it's not.
Piercing, that doesn't work against toughness. It only works against armor, right?
Yes, it's actually penetration of any kind of armor you have.
But toughness. Oh, so it does count. Okay.
It's just enough to give it its second wound. So Frank, would you like to describe this?
Yeah,
Nice kill.
I'm actually taking good aim, and you know, I found a piece of rock that is quite sharp and edgy, and I simply throw it right into the throat of this hyena's giant jaw, and it penetrates the back of the skull, and the brain drops out of his jaw. It chews a little bit on it, and then it drops.
Hardcore.
And actually, guys, we now have something to eat, and
Yeah,
we
lots
have
to eat.
some skins. I'd like to make some slings for weapon,
Yeah.
and oh, by the way, my name is Yabotha. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And this actually concludes the very short adventure scenario. I wasn't expecting it to go this long, actually, a little bit further. But yeah, that's it. That's basically Conan in a pinch with very little equipment to work with.
Yes,
Love it.
Very little.
The plan was, if you guys were to start looking for shelter right away and start moving right away, then you guys would have came across this. Let me bring it up. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
That would have been in the. That would have been in the. As you're being chased, if you kept running.
Oh, nice.
You probably could have got into there, and inside there was some good stuff inside.
Okay. Well, we made do without it. Cool.
And that's when you got close. That's where you would have been if you got closer.
Oh, I like it.
But anyway, yeah. So that's the short introductory game to 2D20. I know it's a lot to take in, Tim. It's a lot of different rules to it, but I hope you enjoy
I like it though. I like the momentum in Doom. It kind of adds another layer of game to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And
It makes it a lot more tactical.
Yeah, and I find the more that you get into it, the more you can take advantage of all the different rules. Because you got like Will and Frank there, like encyclopedias on what to do.
Yeah, I noticed there, and that's cool. You can do a lot of different stuff with it, and do you spend it or save it or whatever, and it seems really neat. I'm really interested in the Star Trek setting as well with these same rules. So,
well, they actually did a really good job with it because they've actually streamlined this more, and it makes it a lot faster.
Star Trek is actually a lot easier than Conan. Actually, the very first one was Mutant Chronicles, which is a little bit more fine-grained. It has lots of very fine-grained rules, and the characters don't start that competent as in Conan. Then you have Infinity, that is a lot of gun porn and some cyberpunk elements, cyberware. And then Conan is even easier. And then they developed Star Trek Adventures, which is very, very simplified. And they even simplified it more for the upcoming John Carter RPG.
Okay, yeah, John Carter's a cool setting too. That's cool. I downloaded the Star Trek extension and the setup for Fantasy Grounds and played around with it a little bit, but actually getting to use the 2D20 system kind of helps me, understand it better. So
yeah, I think in Star Trek you get an easier into the 2D20 system. For several years ago, we started with Mutant Chronicles, and Mutant Chronicles is awfully structured rules-wise, ill-explained, and there are still some questions in rules questions in Conan, but this is nothing compared to Mutant Chronicles. We had puzzled about lots of rules in this Mutant Chronicles stuff, so they cleaned it up quite a lot.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, thanks for running. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Just trying to get more people out there introduced to it. I think it's a good system. I think it just takes some dedicated players, and it can be a lot of fun, I think. But I'm glad.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. I did. Thanks, and it's good playing with y'all. I'm gonna head out. So y'all have a good evening.
Yeah, as glad you join us, and feel free. If I'm always advertising games, if you are interested, just let me know, and I can work you in, no problem.
Okay, we'll do. Thanks.
You take care.
So I'm really interested in the maximum dice thing for squads.
Yeah, two dice for the leader of the squad, plus 4 dice for